Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Iyun and today's Mishnayos, is Eiruvin Perik Bey's Mishnayos Gimel and Dal. And Mishnah Gimel continues the discussion of what we discussed yesterday. There's possibly roast. Basically, it's a heter to make a temporary Rishas Hayakid around a well on your journey, let's say to the base Hamikdash for Aliyas Haregel. Again, inside the well is a Rishas Hayakid, and to carry on the edges, so you can carry on top, right, to feed your animals on top of the bar, on top of the well. So that's Rishas Harabim. So you have to make walls to make on the top of Rishas Hayakid. The heter of possibly roast is unique because normally you need, for walls of Rishas Hayakid, you need the Omed Merubal parts. You need the closed area. The totality of the closed area has to be more than the open area. Here, obviously, the open area is going to be more than the closed area, but that doesn't make a difference because it has the feel of Rishas Hayakid. So, the right that's good enough. On the normal circumstances, they didn't allow you to do this, right? They said it has to be either Omen Rural parts, or like we said, if you have 3 loved strings or 3 loved posts or numerous loved posts with exactly the same dimension between them, that feels like Rishas Hayakid, and that would work even right now with Pasi Biros. It makes it like Rishas Hayakid. Now, the Mishnah Gimel, you don't Omer Ad Beis Hasayim. We said yesterday you can make this Pasi Biros as big as you want. You can make it a really big area. Yehuda now limits that. He says you can only until 2 saw. Now 2 saw is the shear for a gina or a karfef, right? A gina or karfef is a garden, or a karfef is a storage area outside the city where no one's living there, right? So that even though if you put really 4 good walls over there, Midarai says nonetheless Chazal treated it as bigger than Beis Hasayim. It's a big area. Since no one lives there, Chazal treated it as a karmelis, which is not a Rishas Harabim Midaraisa, but it's not a Rishas Hayakid Midarabanan. You can't carry there than Dalet Amos. Just like Rishas Harabim, you can't carry Dalet Amos. A karfef or a gina yoser and Beis Hasayim, you can't carry Dalet Amos. You can't carry something there because Midarabanan we treat it like Rishas Harabim. So what about over here? So according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's like a gina or karfef, only until Beis Hasayim. According to Rabbanan, we paskin like you can make it as big as possible. So the question is, what are they arguing about, Rabbi Yehuda and the Rabbanan? So essentially what they're arguing about, which becomes clear from what the Rabbanan statement is, that it's like a place of living. It's a dira, it's a makom dira, right? Even though you're only going to be there temporarily, you're only using it to fill up water to give to your animals, and then you're going to continue on your journey, right? Nonetheless, it's considered a makom dira, like an animal pen where you store your animals, or you have a place where you keep firewood behind your house, or your backyard or something like that. Because the question is it considered a makom dira or not a makom dira? The reason gina karfef, Rabbanan or machmir, is because it's similar to Rishas Harabim because you're not living there at all, right? Your garden, you don't live there at all. Maybe you tend to the vegetables over there. A karfef is outside the city, a storage place. You come there once in a while, so it's not a makom dira at all. However, let's say a jail, based sachar, or and it says in the Mishnah, or you have a deer where you keep your animal pen. So even though you don't live in the animal pen, but it's right next to your house or a backyard, it is considered dira a little bit because you do spend a considerable amount of time over there, right? You spend time in your animal pen feeding the animals. You spend time in your backyard, lounging in your backyard. So those are places that are considered makom dira. It's similar to a place where you actually live, right? So that's the question. A dira alidei adchak, meaning dira normally is your house where you live and you sleep, right? And you spend most of your time. A place where you spend a considerable amount of time, a good amount of time, your backyard, you lounge, how many hours you spend in your backyard? An hour or 2 a day, maybe. So that's the machlokas over here. When you're spending a gina karfef, you're not spending any time there. You go there very infrequently, maybe once every 30 days. I have a storage area, downstairs in the building where I live. I go there once every 30 days to get a new art scroll. I keep my art scroll. Gemara's there once every 30, 40 days to get a new art scroll. I really don't go into the room anymore. So the storage area you're not using at all. So basically, according to Rabbi Yehuda, a backyard, right? Pasi biros, right? Here, right? It's like a backyard. It's like an animal pen because when you're there, right? It's like an animal pen. It's like a backyard or a pen of animals where you're feeding the animals because you're going to spend, let's say you're camping there for a day or 2, you're going to spend a good part of your time watering your animals. So that's the question. A temporary state like this, where it is like a backyard, it is like an animal pen, but you're only going to be there for a day or 2, is that considered to be a makom dira or not. According to Rabbi Yehuda, it's not a makom dira because you only be there for 1 or 2 days. Even though those 1 or 2 days you're going to treat it like a backyard or an animal pen, but you're only there for 1 or 2 days. And according to the Rabbanan, no, it's considered a makom dira because we assess it what you are right now. Right now, right, you're here. It's this Shabbos. You're spending over here in this encampment over here. So you're going to use that space for an hour to a day, no matter, even though it's a temporary, it's considered to be a makom dira, and therefore you can make it as big as you want. It's considered shul yachid. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.